Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and this is day 34 of me making 100 days worth of YouTube videos and focusing on gratitude and things that I'm grateful for. Um, Honestly, been a little bit struggling this week. I had the goal of kind of creating a schedule. It wasn't going to be a fixed schedule. I mean, it was going to be flexible, supposed to be flexible, and it didn't really work out maybe for the first couple of days. And I realized today I've just been really frustrated because I haven't been sleeping. I can't seem to get my schedule to work for me. Nothing I'm trying to do is working the way that I want it to. And I've been really frustrated with that, feeling a little bit discouraged, trying not to give up, but realizing that I'm just indulging more in watching TV and playing games on my phone and just avoiding doing anything because I'm losing my motivation or my focus or something. I'm not entirely sure. So I was reading my scriptures and meditationals, and I was writing. I was praying to see how God sees me, and doing some writing and realizing that I got this little pop idea in my head that I need to let go. I need to change my perspective of how to do things. So instead of being frustrated and feeling like I'm failing at something that I'm struggling really hard to do, I I need to let go of what's not working and be open to new opportunities to try something different. And I think it was just God telling me that, I I have my ideas and he has his, and that his ways work better than mine. And as long as I keep dictating how it's going to work, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be frustrating. But when I start listening to his way of doing things, it will work better. And I need to figure out, listen to my body, work with myself. And I know I'm out of shape. I know I've had a weird sleep schedule, work schedule. I just haven't been very consistent with myself, which is why I wanted to do a schedule. But that's clearly not working out very well for me. So I need to go back to just one day at a time and figure out what I can do every day. So as long as I'm making my YouTube video, as long as I'm reading my scriptures and meditationals, as long as I'm writing, journaling, making my gratitude lists, taking my vitamins, my DDR Prime for my antidepressant stuff, going to work to pay the bills. I mean, as long as I'm working on things every day, that I'm doing good and I'm being successful, and I need to remember that. And eventually I think a pattern will start to emerge and I will be able to find time and energy to exercise. But trying to exercise on 5 hours of sleep doesn't seem to work, and then I just get exhausted and not do anything, and then it just kind of messes with my sleep schedule and trying the whole napping thing, and that's just, I don't know, wasn't working for me today either. So I'm still tired. I just want to curl up and go back to sleep. But I still have to go to work. I have other things that have to be done. And I'm discovering that when I can't sleep, I can find other things to do that are productive things. And then it's like, okay. And then when I get tired, I can go back to sleep. And maybe that's just kind of going to be a weird schedule for a while until I can figure out what my body needs or how to get it to, sleep straight through for like 8 to 10 hours. And maybe part of that is that I'm not drinking enough water and I'm not eating regularly. So I wake up because I'm hungry or thirsty or something. And I find that sometimes I just have to get a little snack or something and I can go back to sleep because I just needed food in my system because I don't feed myself regularly. So maybe that's part of my problem. I need to learn to listen more to myself and to God and to figure out what direction I'm supposed to be going in. And I have a tendency to just think I know the answers when I don't. And I feel like I need to be in control because I've I've been hurt a lot in my life because I've grown up around chaos, and so I like having control, even if it's just the illusion of having control. Because the reality is I was never in control of the relationships or any of those things anyway. I can't control other people, their thoughts, their feelings, their reactions. Sometimes I'm not even sure I can control myself and my thoughts or my feelings and reactions. I mean, I'm learning to be open to different ideas and change my thought processes. But I mean, just being frustrated and that I can't sleep and not even realizing that I was being discouraged or depressed, I was like, what is wrong with me? Why am I not doing these things? I was so excited just like 3, 4 days ago. I was like, yay, I hit day 30. I'm exercising. Life is wonderful. And now I'm like, oh, I'm struggling again. This is so not fair. So, and then it just, today, that was just a little insight from God reminding me I just need to let go of what's not working instead of looking at it as failing, that it's not working. And it's okay if it doesn't work. It's trial and error. I'm trying things. I'm trying new things. I'm trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work and trying to get a new schedule. And it's not going to be perfect. It's clearly going to be very messy, and which I don't like. I, of course, think that everything I try should turn out perfectly. And if it doesn't, then I'm a complete failure. And I have no idea why I have these crazy thoughts in my head. It just, that's what I think. I think it's because anytime I didn't do things right, I always got criticized. All the negative things, all the imperfections were always pointed out. And even if people didn't point them out directly, I grew up around people that were always pointing out or being critical of other people and their mistakes. So I felt like I had to be critical of myself and my mistakes. And I was just afraid to do things if I didn't get it right. I would get in trouble or people wouldn't like me or whatever. So then I just didn't do things, or I would do it with other people so they could fix it or do it for me. And then it would be right and I would be okay because it had to be right. And so now I'm having to unlearn those thoughts and unlearn those feelings and those false interpretations, lies, whatever you want to call them, that I've been telling myself all of these years. That it doesn't have to be perfect on the first try, that it's okay to make mistakes, that it's okay to cry, it's okay to have emotions, it's okay to have feelings, it's okay to have things not work out. It doesn't mean that my day is over, that my life is over. It doesn't mean that I'm this epic failure, because of course I have to go to the extreme. It can't just be I failed, I had to fail miserably, or I'm an epic failure. Or I have to struggle and keep fighting and be like this harsh determination, like I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. If it kills me, I'm gonna drive myself into the ground and make myself do it. And then of course I'm like, yes, I did it, and I'm thoroughly exhausted, and now I'm letting go of all of those things that I worked so hard to get in the habit of doing just so that I could prove that I did it. And now I'm done because I did it. I did that once, I think years ago. I set a goal and I had like 10 things I wanted to do every day for 30 days. And it probably took me 3 months to do it for a whole 30 days straight. And then I kind of had a little mini party, got excited for myself that I did those things, and then I never did them again. Well, I mean, some of them I did, but I didn't consistently do them every single day because it was too much. And I was too exhausted. And it was like, even though I finally accomplished that goal, it was really an extreme goal, and it wasn't something that I was able to maintain. And so I would like to hope that at the end of my 100 days of doing YouTube videos, that the changes, the gratitude, my focus towards, the positive things in my life becomes a permanent change, something that I can maintain, hopefully for the rest of my life, to be willing to change my thought process, to be willing to be open to different things, to see that if something's not working, that I can let it go and I can try something different. And I don't know what I'm going to try different right now. Maybe I might just start listening to my body. When I'm hungry, I need to eat. When I'm tired, I need to sleep. When I'm bored, I need to do something as far as, work, writing, something, reading, whatever, cleaning, organizing. If I'm overwhelmed, I can figure out how to ask for help. But I need to start doing a better job of listening to myself and paying attention to those things. And maybe eventually there will be some kind of a pattern, because I think patterns, God has patterns. God is not full of chaos, He's full of order. So I'm sure there's going to be some kind of pattern or thing that arises in my life that works for me. But right now, I just feel like I need to have that flexibility. I just, I guess I can't fit myself into a box. I want to, but I think that's also, I keep trying to compare myself to what I think the rest of the world does, what the rest of the world considers normal, because I'm a night owl. So for me to work all night and sleep all day is perfectly normal, for me, but not for other people. And so I think there's something wrong with me because that's how my body works. And it's like, I need to stop fighting what is comfortable. I need to stop fighting what is working because it's not what I want. And I do that. And I think that's part of my frustration, and part of the reason that I'm struggling to sleep and struggling to do things is because I'm trying to force myself to do things in a certain order, and they don't have to be in a certain order. Because I like exercising, I did that, but maybe it would work better if I did it at night before I go to sleep. So when I'm thoroughly exhausted after working out, I can just crash. And maybe that's not the best way to do things, but maybe that'll work for me for right now. Maybe I need to change that to be, let's exercise at the end of the day when I'm already tired, and I'll just do that. And then I'm like, okay, I'm just take a shower and go to bed. You know, we're done. And maybe that's what I need to do instead, or maybe I need to exercise in the middle of the day, just get up and do other things first, get something to eat, read, do some writing, and then exercise, and then go to work and whatever. I don't know. I need to figure that out. And I know that God will help me figure that out, because these are good goals, good things that I want to do. Just my timing and having a set schedule is not really working for me. And maybe I just need to push everything back and do it later in the day, which is what I didn't want to do. So I've been fighting that, because I'm like, I don't want to do it later in the day. But if later in the day works better, then I need to do it later in the day. I need to stop trying to force myself to conform to something that doesn't work for me. I need to be able to let go of what doesn't work, and open myself up to other opportunities, other possibilities, different ways of doing things, different times of doing things, changing my schedule, letting it be more flexible than I initially intended it for it to be. So these are things that I'm thinking, and I just thought I'm very grateful for that, because I've been frustrated, and then I've been discouraged and feeling depressed today, and I couldn't figure out why. And then when I finally did let myself read my scriptures and meditationals and write, that's kind of a meditating thing for me. Writing, I think, is sometimes how God speaks to me and shows me what I need to see. It's like, Midge, look, you need to let go of this stuff, because it's not working. And instead of feeling like I failed at something, I need to look at it like I just need to let go of it because it isn't working, and I can open myself up to something else, which I know I've said multiple times already. I'm just trying to get that embedded into me, because it is a process of changing my thoughts, and repetition is, I think, a way that we learn, and it sticks with us if we keep repeating it. So, and if I don't keep repeating it, then I forget it. And so I need to remember that it's okay to let go. It's okay to do something different. It's okay that my week hasn't gone the way that I anticipated by any means, but that things are still working out, that things will still work out, that God is still there to help me, to guide me, to help me get through all of this. And in the end, everything will happen the way that it's supposed to happen. And I'm grateful that I can see that I know that. And I'm grateful that God is guiding me in this process. I'm grateful that I'm still able to make my YouTube videos, that I am not giving up. I'm very grateful that I keep trying, that I'm not giving up. I'm grateful that I'm open to new possibilities, to different ways of doing things, and letting go of past ideas and thought processes. And it's not an easy process, letting go. And I think some of that stuff is just like, it's like a reset button or something in my head, or the default settings. So I'm like, I keep trying to change the settings in my brain, and it just goes right back to the default every time something doesn't work out. It's like, oh, the new setting didn't work, default. Like, I don't like the default setting. I need to get a new default setting, one that's focused on gratitude and positive things, and willingness to change, and acceptance of the way things are, instead of default setting, shut down, be depressed, didn't work out, we're done, time out, no more, the end. And that's a terrible default setting. So I'm in the process of changing my settings, and it's an interesting process. It is obviously not an overnight process. And clearly, I have had days where I feel completely successful, like I am doing this and this is great, and I am just going to keep right on doing this every single day, no problem. And then days like today. So it kind of makes me feel like it's like an ongoing battle with the adversary. He doesn't want me to succeed, but I want to succeed. And I kind of a church comment, I guess, but it always makes me think, the Lord is for me and Satan is against me, but my vote is the one that counts. So which way am I going to go? Which direction am I going to choose? What am I going to give into today? And today I'm going for gratitude. Today I'm trying to succeed and to go the Lord's way. But I'm also reminded that it is an uphill battle and I'm climbing and I'm going to be exhausted and tired and it's not going to be easy, but it will be worth it. And I know there's going to be future challenges in my life for me to tackle, but I can always look back on all of these because now I'm making all these videos and I can look back and say, hey, look what I did, look what I accomplished. So when I hit that rough spot in the future, I'll know, hey, I can get through this. It may not be easy, but I can get through this or over it or around it or whatever it is. So I'm grateful that I can see that. I'm grateful that I can have some hope for the future, that I have things to look forward to, and that I can continue to work on myself without giving up. And so that's where I'm at. And I'm hoping that what I'm saying is helpful to someone or others that may be struggling with what I'm going through. Or, if you find it entertaining and want to just laugh, that's okay too. But anyway, if you like, subscribe, share, whatever you want to do. And I hope you have a day full of gratitude.